All right, bonjour. My name is Marvin Defoe. I'm located here in Redcliffe community. I serve as the TIPO officer for the tribe, and I'd like to give you a little history of Redcliffe. Number one, Redcliffe is located in northern Wisconsin, right by Lake Superior, by the Apostle Islands, one of the freshest water lakes in the world. Our community is 14,000 some acres. We have about a population of 1,500 people living here, a total population of 8,000. 22 miles of the shore of the by Lake Superior shoreline. 22 miles. A lot of woods, a lot of nature, and a lot of resources that we have. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the history of how Redcliffe came to be. Redcliffe was not, that's a very new name. In our language we say Misquabican, place that's red. So if you go on Lake Superior and you're in a canoe or boat, you look back at the shoreline, it's going to glow red. And that's why it's called Redcliffe. We have always, I'm goofing up. We have been on this land for many, many years. We have originated here in the Midwest for probably, I'd say 2,000-3,000 years or 4,000 years. The hub where we settled in was Moning, Wanakaning, Madeline Island. And at the time during the treaty signing, how Redcliffe came to be was, actually I have some treaties here, and this is an official document. These are some official documents. This is like a title that our tribe has with the United States, and this document was signed right over on Madeline Island in 1854, September 30th to be exact. And during that time, a lot of the land, northern Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, was ceded to the United States government, and we retained the rights to hunt and fish and gather. If I would put it in a little perspective, you go down by Wausau, Highway 29, all north of Wausau. I'm able to gather and fish and hunt and get medicines, etc. And that includes Michigan, and that includes parts of Minnesota. The official name of our tribe, Redcliffe Band of Lake Superior Chippewa. That's the official name. It's comprised of 11 tribes, not only Redcliffe, but 11 tribes throughout the Midwest, who comprises Lake Superior Band of the Chippewas. Prior to the treaty signing, prior to that, we followed our clans, we followed the chiefs, and we followed our traditional form of government here in the community. And the one chief was Chief Buffalo. And prior to the treaty signing, Chief Buffalo traveled to Washington, D.C. with a delegation of sub-chiefs, and they met with the President of the United States, which formulated the treaties. The reason why is because the United States government, by executive order, was to remove all native people east of the Mississippi to west of the Mississippi. Well, we didn't want to move. This was our home. This is where we gathered, and this is where we wanted to live. So our chiefs convinced the president to rescind the treaty. That is the result of the treaties. That is the result of the formulation of Redcliffe, if you will. But again, if I can go a little bit further back, the this land, we lived amongst the Great Lakes for thousands and thousands of years. Our people have, that's right in my blood. The ancestors of my people lived here, ancient people, if you will. They used to say that according to our oral traditions, that Lake Superior was back, the shoreline was back 10, 15 miles inland. And if you look along those spots where the shoreline was, you're going to find remnants of our ancient people. There's even places here in Red Cliff where you're going to find remnants of our ancient people. And the reason why I say this is because we have for thousands and thousands and thousands of years had a footprint in on the land. Contrary to popular belief, we did not come from the Bering Straits. We did not cross the land bridge. Our people migrated, the evolution of our people came from the east, came from the East Coast. And you're going to find through our oral tradition stories upon stories upon stories of that. One is to follow the growth of the wild rice, the manoomin. That's one story. There's another one. There's another story where it talks about giant beaver living in Lake Superior. In fact, over by Shawamigan, Ja'amikun. That is how we say that in our language. And it means soft beaver dam. So during that time, I mean, if you think of when giant beaver were in this lake, you're talking thousands and thousands of years. Prehistoric beaver. There's one fish that still is in the lake, and that's a sturgeon. In fact, that's my clan, the sturgeon. The sturgeon swam, I like to say swam with the dinosaurs. So you're going to see, back then, the history of Red Cliff goes back to the Ice Age. Goes back to a time 10, 15,000 years ago when on this earth was glaciers. Right here. I wish I could quit coughing.
Stop for a second.